Child. The things that I went through today. I can't even have a good theme song going on because I'm working anyway, so it don't even make sense for me to have a theme song going on. This is not going to be a long chat. I just want to chat with y'all about the voting whole thingamajiggy. Something ain't right about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Something is definitely not right about that. That whole voting thing, terribly wrong. Something is terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. What the hell? Why is this open? What is this? Why is this happening? Why is this open? I don't know what's going on. Let me go check my live real quick on my tablet. But let me tell y'all something. My morning started out fine, right? I was good. I was fine all morning. I was fine. And you know how you get a feeling when you let me shut something. Now why I can't check my live one here? Oh, okay, it came up. Let's see. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I don't know why that calendar is there. I mean, calculator is there, but I'm good. Yeah, it's weird. This fucking thing is weird. Let me see how I look. I was fixing my thing. Okay. All right. So, so this morning, right? You know, today's election day in New York City, and before I can get out my door, I went on social media, something I shouldn't have never did, and I see a tweet from the greatest person of America. Not gonna say no names because I don't need to say no names. Y'all just have to catch on to what I'm saying because I'm not gonna say no names. I don't know why this is here. Hold on 1 minute. Let me go out and come back in. I don't want to. Oh, there it go. Okay, it's gone now. Okay, so look, reminded me of election day, like I don't know. But now 5 minutes later, look what the neighborhood talk is posting. Shaking my head. Your leader says he will not give out SNAP benefits until the government reopens, despite the federal judges ordering him to do so. It will not. It will be given only when the opens up. Yo, this man here, y'all can say whatever y'all want because the federal judge, right? This all goes together. So let me tell y'all my little story time, and then I'll go into whatever. Matter of fact, because I think it's on a neighborhood talk. This is what I really wanted to talk about. Being that it's voting Tuesday, everybody's voting. I know we voting out here for the mayor, right? Okay, we voting for the mayor. So before I even get out my door, before I even go out my door, I see that your leader tweeted something. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. This is a quick little live. You know, I just want to come to y'all because I've been promising y'all live. But you know me, I like to sit back and observe things. And I'm sitting back and I'm working a lot. And I'm observing a lot of things. First of all, he puts out a tweet, right? First of all, now you using Nicki Minaj's music inside your TikTok reels and all of that. That's crazy. But 45, 47. That's what we're gonna fucking call him for now on. 45, 47. 45, 47 chose to send out a tweet talking about if we choose X, Y, and Z mayor, then he might not be able to give New York City funding and all of the things, right? And I'm saying to myself, why are you making the voters feel some type of way if they pick a certain person? Let me see if Don Lemon have it up, because I know he got it up. It was a long tweet, y'all, and I'm like, so you, oh, because if y'all pick that person, then I'm not gonna be able to give New York no funding, and poor New York is going to be in financial difficulty, and New York is going to go downhill. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess, honey. It was a mess. And I said to myself, am I the only one that sees this? He tweeted this out early in the morning before we even go get the vote. So you trying to basically sway people, sway people's votes already. You already trying to do that. Because if you wasn't trying to do that, then why would you even post that? Let me see if it's on the Shade Room. I found it funny that it wasn't on Don Lemon, which is crazy. But you already trying to sway the voters to vote the way you want them to vote. Now, so when I see that tweet, I'm trying to find a tweet for y'all because I was just like, are we really like here? Like this man is just gonna say what he wants? Ooh, baby. How much you want to bet I'm not gonna be able to find it? Where can I find it at? Let me see if I liked it or wrote a comment about it. I don't know what's going on, but the energy in the world today is giving funny. That's all I'm going to say about that. The energy, to me, is giving funny. I don't know why. From the moment I stepped outside to go in the voters booth, it's been a problem. It's been a problem. Let me see. I'm trying to find a tweet for y'all because I was just like, so, not that I wanted to read the whole thing or nothing like that, but it was just weird. Like, so this is what we're doing? Like, you worrying about what other people are voting about? I didn't find it. They probably took it down. I'm going to tell you that right now. They probably took it down. I'm going to tell you why. Because I done been on a couple of blogs already, and I don't see it yet. Oh, I know it. If it ain't here, they took it down. I'm about to find it right now. And if it ain't here, then they took it down. Because I'm kind of shocked that Don Lemon don't have it up. But I'm going to go to the Daily Mail and see if they got it. And if the Daily Mail don't have it, then that means they took it down from all the blog sites. So they don't want you to talk about it. Talk about that. They don't want you to talk about it. Because I found it funny that he's tweeting that and thought that that was okay to tweet the American people. But like I said, this one here, he does what he wants to do. And I noticed that. Why I can't find it? I really wanted to find it and reread it. I should have saved it and screenshotted it. That's what I should have did. That's what I really should have did. Because now I can't find it. Because now it's like, I think they took it down. I'm not going to even lie to y'all. Maybe they got it. I'm going to look on one more site. Maybe they have it. But yeah, so when I read the tweet, because the tweet was crazy, I read the tweet, and I'm like, why would he say that to the American people right before we go and vote? That he's not going to give us no funding, New York City no funding, if we don't vote like this and we don't vote like that. I found that to be very weird. Very, very weird. I found it to be weird. And I'm like, why would he do that? But because you want to sway the people. Now, I'm already going to vote who I'm going to vote for. And I'm not voting for nobody that wants to defund the police in New York City. Because right now we need the police in New York City. So why would you think that you can come in with no experience? You don't have no mayor in your background. You worked in the Senate, whatever you was doing, because you popped out the blue. And a lot of people don't even know you. You downgrade and miscompone this person because you want to come out on top. And if y'all elect him, it's just a lot of back and forth and how they trying to sway people to vote for certain people, which leads me to what happened today when I went to go vote. Now, let me show y'all something. This is a paper ballot. This is an example. This is not the real thing. This is an example of the paper ballot, right? Never had to fill out one of these before in my life. Never. Now, because I never had to fill it out before, I know what it looked like. I just brought it to y'all because I had to go through the process today. And the process was very weird. So I'm going to tell you about my little story time. So me and my daughter, we always go together. I always take a grandchild with me and take pictures with them so they can know what that's like. And I start with them from babies. You understand? I always take somebody, a child with me to go vote. It's like they take turns, right? So I went to go take my grandson, me and my daughter, because that'll be his first time in the booth. Okay? All right. So we on the line, and they going down the list, and they saying, "Oh, what building you from?" You tell them what building you from, or what, and then they tell you what line to go to or whatever. After you tell them your address, all right, go over there to line 14. So my daughter looks at me and she says, "Mom, why you look like that?" I just said something is off. Now this is where I go all the time. I've never moved. I've always lived in the same place all my life from birth, right here. I've always lived in the same place. I never had to change no address. I never had to do none of that. Never had to change your address, never lived nowhere else. Right? Right. So I bring my ID with me anyway in case they say, well, your ID. I'm thinking they're gonna check people in by ID. So now me and my daughter's online and I see people coming out but they're looking mad. They're looking like discouraged. Okay? So I'm paying attention. So when my daughter asks me, "Are you all right?" I just tell her to read the room. Look what's going on. Look what's happening. Why everybody look like they mad? Why people look mad? Even the Spanish speaking people. Why they look mad? So now is a Spanish lady in front of me and my daughter. And she's trying to find her name in the system. Remind you, those other two people that we seen going out, they was on the same line. Right? Now, this is not just because of what line you're on. Clock it. It's not about, it don't matter what line you're on. So, all right, they go out, they look mad. The lady in front of us, she looks mad. And they can't find her name. And I said, well, why they not asking for the ID? They asking you for the first three, well, at this toll booth, they asking you for your first three initials of your name and your last three initials of your name. The first three and the last. And the first three of your first and your first three of your last. So they asked her. And then I said to myself, why they don't have an English speaking person at every table and a Spanish speaking person at every table? Because they got two people at a table. And I'm saying to myself, well, maybe they don't understand her because she's Spanish and they black. Maybe they don't really understand her. Here's the thing. She typed it in herself. They let her type it in herself. She wrote it down. She typed it in. They couldn't find her in the system. I said, aha. This is when I realized what's going on. This is when I realized why the energy changed in here as soon as I got in here. Because I woke up fine. I stayed blessed, highly favored, but I go off energy. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they'll find it this way. So now they're going through the whole thing of trying to find this lady in the system. So she walks out. She's mad now because now she's not able to vote the way she wants to vote, which is go in the booth and put your, do the thing. She don't want to do no paper ballot, and I understand why, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. So she walks off. She's mad. So now it's time for me and my daughter. So I let my daughter go in front of me. At first they couldn't find her. Now me and her got the same address. She lives with me. She just walked in the door. They couldn't find her at first. And I said, They going through it. Then they did it again and then they found it. So now my daughter, they gave her stuff and she went in the booth or whatever. Okay. So now it's my turn. And it got weirder the feeling in my gut got weirder and weirder and weirder. Mind you, I never changed my address. I lived here all my life since I was a baby. I get to the front. I say my name, my last name, the three letters in my last name. And then I say the three letters in my first name because there's only three letters. My name was even real life. We thinking I have a whole nother name, but my name is Eve in real life. So they trying to find it, trying to find it. They put my whole address in there. They trying to find it, trying to find it. So now another lady that I know that watched me grow up says, why is her name not in the system now? Because we sitting in the same school that she went to school in. I said, I went to school in this school. I come here to vote all the time. I don't never change. I go to the same place and vote all the time. I never went through this. So now they trying to find my name, find my name. Then I said, Eve, don't say nothing, because it's not their fault. So now they trying to find my name. Now I don't move from that table to another table. The lady says, slide down, because now the line is getting longer. The line that I'm on is getting longer. So I slide down to the table to the lady that knows me and watched me grow up. She lives in the same neighborhood, so she's working the election. She works the election, every election. She works them. So she's trying to find my name, trying to find it, trying to find it. She's still trying to find it, y'all. She wasn't able to find it. I said, I know what this is. She said, I'm thinking, I think I know what you're thinking too. I said, so we went to the side and we started talking. I said, how many people did that happen to already? And she said, well, it happened to a couple of people already that they wasn't able to be, they wasn't in the system. I said, I said, you don't find it funny that my daughter's in the system, but I'm not in the system? She said, that's the weird part. She said, I'm thinking, she said, but I do find it weird that you're not in the system and you've been voting before your daughter was even born. And you're the one that showed her how to vote. And she's able to vote, and y'all live in the same house. Y'all both never changed your address. Y'all got the same last name. How is it that she's able to vote and you're not able to vote? And then I said to myself, I know what this is, and I just don't want to say it, but I know what it is. I know what's being done. You understand what I'm saying? They want you to be discouraged. They want you to get angry. They want you to argue with the people back and forth. But if you know what you know, then you're not going to argue with the people across the table, because guess what? Those people are there to help you, and they didn't do nothing. It's not their fault that they couldn't find my name. You would have to think about what type of system would take your name out of the system right before you go vote. Clock it. Then on top of that, they want you to do a paper ballot, right? Which is this paper right here. Not this very paper. This is the sample. This is the sample paper. See how it says sample? They want you to fill this out, put it in the envelope, and slide it through the machine. Here's the T. How many times did you know of dumb people losing paper ballots? How many times? How many times do you know that since there's been a couple of elections lately, all of a sudden the paper ballots come up missing? I remember that one story a couple of years ago. They found the paper ballots, and the paper ballots was in a black plastic bag, and they was on the highway. Remember that? See, my brain is like an elephant, and I'm not trying to say nothing. This is just my opinion. This is not the opinion of the people. This is my opinion, and this is my experience. I just find it funny that y'all want people to do paper ballots. People's names is not in the system. Why? Why they not in the system? People that have been voting for years in the same area. All the voting things go according to your area, and they go according to your address that you have on file to vote. So even if I was to move, I would have had to come back here unless I did a new voter's registration card over. I would have had to come back over here like my mother. When they was tapping the system up, my mother came up in the system. I said, that's my mother name right there. I said, here's the thing though. She don't even live with me. she would have to come over here to vote though, because her name is in the system over here, which she always does anyway. She don't live too far from me, but she could have changed her ad. She didn't change her address when it comes to the voting thing. She kept the voting thing, the voter's card. It has this address on here, so she came up in the system. Same last name, same address, but mine didn't come up, and a lot of other people's shit didn't come up. They live in the same neighborhood. They've been around here for years. See, when you grow up in the neighborhood, you grow up and you know all the names. Hi, such and such. How you doing? Da, da, da. You know people. I know a lot of people. I grew up here. So when you see the familiar faces that you always see when you come and vote early in the morning, because I'm an early morning person, those people that I've seen leaving are early morning people too. They look like they was on their way to work. And very early. The voter thing opened up, I think, at 6 o'clock around here, 6:30, 6 o'clock. I was in there at 8 o'clock, y'all, because I wanted to go to the supermarket after that. So I said, let me just wait, because I could have went to the supermarket at 7. But I said, let me just wait, and then I'll go downstairs with my daughter, and we can all go together, and it can be an experience. You understand? Okay. So my name wasn't in the system, and a couple other people's wasn't. So when I asked the lady, I asked her, I said, how many more people that happened to already? She said, well, we've only been open for 2 hours, hour and a half. So it happened to a handful of people already. It did. Because here's the thing. On the paper, right? On the paper, they have to cross out the people that's coming in. Like it has boxes, and it has up to like 100 in boxes. Everybody has the sheet on their table, and you have to cross it out when the person comes up. 1 voter, 2 voter, 3 voter. You have to cross it off, right? And you cross it off with different color pens. Red means they couldn't vote, and they had to vote with a paper ballot. So now I'm looking at the paper, and I'm looking at the boxes, and now she's at another table. She had 3 people already that could not vote at her particular table. And at the table that I was at that couldn't find my name, the line that I was on, they had like 5 to 6 names that was crossed out. 5 to 6 numbers that was crossed out. Like people, like you have to say if they came, but that means they have a paper ballot, cross them off. So they're going to know how many paper ballots is in there. Now, I don't know if all the voting booths are doing it like that. I don't know. I don't know if all of them are doing it like that. But for that many people to be crossed off in red, that means they have a paper ballot. Why? Now, remind you, it's 6 tables in this. It's like 6 to 7 tables in the one that I go to, in the school that I go to. So they have like 6, 7 tables. I only looked at the numbers for 2 tables. And for them to have almost 10 names between those 2 tables early in the morning like that, how many more paper ballots you think people are going to have to use today? Because they named all of them, all of a sudden, their names don't come up in the system. Come on, think about that. How many names y'all put out the system? I just feel like the energy is different. I know for me and a couple of other people, when I went in the supermarket after I came out, because I was mad, I cried and everything. I cried because I never experienced that much frustration in the voting booth. Never. I never went through that. Never. My name was never not in the system. My name was always in the system all the time. So when my name doesn't come up in the system today, out of all days, that's not a coinky-dink. And then it's not only me, it's a lot of other people's names that's not going to come up in that system today. That means there's a lot of paper ballots that's going to have to go out. And if they want certain people to win, That to me is not a fair fight for somebody that's going up to be the next mayor of New York City. That's not a fair fight because I feel like these that they want y'all to fill out are gonna come up missing. That's just my feeling. That's just how I feel. I'm giving my experience. I feel like these are gonna come up missing like the last time. See, here's the thing. Think about it when Hillary ran. Think about it when Obama ran. Think about it when Kamala ran. Think about it when Biden ran. Think about it even when Trump ran. Paper ballots always be coming up missing. And if you have people getting taken out of the system and their name don't show up, they get one of these paper ballot. They put an envelope, slide it through. How many of you think is going to come up missing by tonight? How many of you think? All of that. Oh, it's going to be a tight race. How do you know that? How do y'all know all of these things and nobody's even counting votes yet? How do y'all know it's going to be a tight race? How do you know? I always think about that. How do they know? How do they know? They were saying it was going to be a tight race even this morning before I got dressed. And the booths wasn't even open yet. How do you know? And I don't want to hear, oh, because they did the, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I just want to know, how do they know? How do they know? How do they know that? Mm, I'm looking at my little tablet real quick to see if any more news has come up. Cuomo, 2 hours ago, already went to the polls.
The president believes Zoran Mandami is a communist. He believes he's an existential threat. I believe he's a socialist and an existential threat, and not a dress-up socialist, right? Their school of socialism, this Democratic Socialists of America, government controls the means of production. No private ownership of real estate, abolish jails, decriminalize prostitution. This is frightening stuff. And I think that's why you're seeing New Yorkers react and New Yorkers turn out. I'm offering the exact opposite. Safer New York, 5,000 new police, 1,500 police on the subways. Make New Yorkers feel safe again. You want to bring the cost of housing down, which we have to do? You have to build more affordable housing. It's supply and demand. There's nothing tricky to it. The trick is having the competency and the ability to make the government work to actually build 100,000 units a year. And that's about making the government work, which is what I have done all my life. And that's how you really make change. You make change by understanding how to run the government, tackle the obstacles, move the bureaucracy, move the politics to actually make progress. That's LaGuardia Airport, that's Kennedy Airport, that's Second Avenue subway. That's the same story over and over and over. You want to make change in government? You think it's easy? You go and say, I want to make change. You know what they say? You can't. You can't. They give you a list of 1,000 reasons why it can't happen. The bureaucracy pushes back. You have to learn.
He's not lying. He's not lying. They're giving you every which way to be discouraged on doing certain things.
That government work to
they want you to be discouraged. They want you to be discouraged. They don't want you to vote. They want you to be mad. And if I wasn't the me that I am today, if I was the me that'll storm off and get mad and not do this and not do that, I would have turned that thing up in there. But something just said, nah, I'm good. I don't need to turn up. because I know what they're trying to do. I see what they're trying to do. I can see what they're trying to do.
So far this year, the president has pardoned.
Child. Your man said he's not paying SNAP benefits, okay? He's not paying, even though what the court's ruling has said, okay? And I believe him. I believe him. Your leader. 45, 47. Your leader. I believe that he is not doing it. And I'm going to tell you why. This morning I read a headline and it says, oh, matter of fact, it was Lisa Everest, and I let her tell you. I'm going to let her tell you, because Lisa is always on point. I love me some Lisa Everest. It said that with the ruling, he has to give out the SNAP benefits because federal judges ruled against him, right? Then this morning, it was a whole thing of, oh, well, he said it's only $4 million in there, and we need $8 billion to give out SNAP benefits. So I'm gonna just give out half of the benefits. So I was like, that don't sound right, because if we ain't been using nothing, matter of fact, it's the emergency funds. And if we ain't been using emergency funds, right, then why is all the funds not there? Why is all the funds not there? Oh, it's only $4 million over there in emergency funds. Why? Why is that? Why is it only $4 billion? Why is that? That don't even make sense. Let me see where she says it at. I think it's this one.
Hey guys, hope you had a great Monday and a great start to your week. Just wanted to give you a quick update on this whole SNAP benefit situation. And there's a little bit of good news, not great news, but a little bit of good news. President Trump today, in response to those judges' orders on Friday, is authorizing the release of these SNAP emergency funds. Now, the only problem with that is there's only, in the emergency fund, there's supposedly about $4.5 billion. It costs the United States government $8 billion each month to pay the SNAP benefits to the millions of Americans who are participating in this program to put food on their tables. So he's authorizing the $4.5 billion, which is all that he says is left in the emergency fund that is part of the funding for SNAP. So what that means is that recipients will probably get about half of what they would normally get for the month of November. That's a little bit of good news. It's not great news because it's still going to take time for that money to get released and get onto those cards.
Why is it only $4.5 billion in there? Why? Why is it? If we ain't had an emergency, right? Then why is it only a little bit in there? But and yet, you building the ballroom, and you had $1 million dinner to build the ballroom. Oh, he's using his own funds. He's using his own money. People don't even like to use their own money for their own business. They go and get lenders. So you trying to tell me he's using his own money for the ballroom? But now we don't have, here's the thing, y'all raised a lot of money for the ballroom, right? If you really want to feed the people them, right? If you really, really want to feed the people, and you just had that whole party for the ballroom that y'all want to put up, right? Why you can't take $4 billion out of that? Because this is the emergency, right? That ballroom is not an emergency. You're going to be here for another 3 years. The ballroom is not an emergency. So why you can't take $4 billion from that? Put that $4 billion or $1 million, whatever it is. Take some of that and put towards the SNAP benefit thing. Why you can't do that? Y'all know how weird that sounds, right? but you're taking from educational departments and you closing down this and you're doing all of the things, but and yet you can't take from that to put over there for a little bit because you're going to get your boardroom regardless. You're going to do it regardless, right? So why you can't take a little bit of money from over there and put it over there and give these people their benefits for Thanksgiving? Y'all don't nothing is a coinky-dink. Nothing. It's not a coinky-dink that people's names are not in the system so they can vote. It's not a coinky-dink that we want to shut it down. It's not a coinky-dink that they told you that you have no choice but to do it. And then now all of a sudden, oh, I'm not giving out anything. I don't even care what the government says, allegedly. I don't care what they say. I'm not giving out nothing. So what was the point of having the hearing, the judges to get involved, if you were still not going to give out nothing? And if the federal judges ruled that he has to do that, and let's just say all of this is true and none of it is alleged, let's just say that he said this, that he's not giving out, because there's too many people saying that he's not giving it out. Too many blogs. So I don't want to hear, oh no, that's a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. No. She's talking about the election coverage. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, but it's too many people saying what's going on with this whole election thing. You understand what I'm saying? But is this sad that people are gonna be without because of this election, because of this, not the election, because of this government shutdown? And it's very, very sad. It is. See, here's the headline. I don't know Mamdani. If Mamdani wins, Texas threatens 100% thrifts on New Yorkers leaving if Mamdani wins. Come on. It's just crazy. I'm just looking at the news, y'all. This person, Mamdani person, I really don't like everything that he's got going on and all of the things. It's just crazy to me. It really is. It's just crazy to me. I don't know. It's just too much going on. And I'm just going down my timeline before I log off because I didn't want this live to be that long. I just wanted y'all to know how I felt. This is 11 minutes ago on Don Lemon.
Donald Trump and Republicans gerrymander the national congressional map as part of their effort to rig the midterm election. We said it months ago, and that California would be the beginning, but that there would be a decisive Democratic response throughout America, from coast to coast, and at all points in between. And now, the American people can see that we absolutely are determined.
This is what I've been trying to tell y'all.
And committed to a continuing
this is what
response
I've been talking about.
That is decisive, that is immediate, that is forceful, and that is designed to ensure that there are free and fair elections in this country when it comes to deciding which party should control Congress in 2026. Democrats will not unilaterally disarm. Democrats recognize the moment that we're in, that the pushback will continue to be ongoing and forceful, and we will not allow Donald Trump and his Republican sycophants to undermine a free and fair national congressional map as part of his toxic effort to rig the midterm elections. If I said it, I meant it. Next question. We've
This
been
is
clear
about to be.
from the very.
This is about to get crazy.
we've
And I've been
we've
saying this for
clear.
months. I've been saying this for a long time now. This man, I don't know if I really mess with him like that. I know Cuomo, I know what Cuomo's going to do. And at the end of the day, I don't have time for nobody to sway me. I'm not here to sway nobody's opinion. I'm not here to do none of the things. I'm not here to tell y'all who to vote for. Poll places across 7 New Jersey counties, including Bergen, Essex, Mid-Essex, Ocean, received email of threats on election day that were later confirmed to be false. Thank God. So they've been talking about little things happening at these booths. And I'm going to tell you this, it's a heavy, I don't know if you hear them in the background, but it's a heavy police presence outside. And it's been a heavy police presence outside since last night. So, shit is crazy. It's just crazy. It really, really is. I'm looking at somebody with my cup on the internet. Shout out to Eve and Thing and Shao. But, yeah, this is crazy. I just want the right person to win. That's all. But the games they are out there playing, I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. I just had to come and tell y'all my experience. You understand what I'm saying? I just had to come tell y'all my experience and how I felt about the whole thing. Because it really, really is a thing. And it really, really don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? It really is sad because all these people, Amazon drops $25 Thanksgiving deals to feed family of 5. Full holiday include turkey, sides, and a pie. So everybody's having all of these things. A lot of people giving out deals and things of that nature, you know. I just don't like the fact that because one person is shut down, you understand what I'm saying? I don't like that. Because the back and forth, the American people don't have nothing to do with it. I really just want the right people to get in office. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Don't try to sway it. Don't try to do nothing. Let the American people think for themselves and let them do what they gotta do. Y'all don't let nobody sway y'all to do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. For your family, for whoever. Just do what you gotta do right now. But at the end of the day, listen, it is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just had to come and tell y'all my experience at the polls today. It was not the experience that always, you know, because I always have a good experience at the polls. I always go out in good spirits. I never have to worry about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I just hope everybody eats, everybody gets fed. The lines, Grubhub is having something. Grubhub is giving out meals or whatever and 0 fees. Well, they always have 0 fees. If you're an Amazon member, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get free things with Grubhub or whatever, free little things with Grubhub. But at the end of the day, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I just hope and everybody be safe out there today. Don't let nobody discourage you. Because if I would have let somebody discourage me, I wouldn't have been out there doing what I gotta do. I did exactly what I had to do. You go out there and you do what you gotta do. And take care of your family, take care of your friends, or whatever. And y'all have a safe and blessed Tuesday. I'm going to go back and work. If y'all need something from Even Things, y'all can always DM me. Or y'all can always put it in the comments. I always read my comments all the time. I'm shipping out orders for free shipping and handling. But if you want to order and you don't want to order it on YouTube, you can go to my Instagram, EVE_DA_weave, WEAVE. And if you want to order anything, feel free to order anything. Go in my comments. I have stuff for kids. I have stuff for adults, female and male, babies, things of that nature. Because I know a lot of people is going to be boycotting this year for Christmas and Black Friday sales and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, if you want to order something, go right in my DMs and order it. But I got to go YouTube because it's back to work per usual. I'm working on this cup right here. See, I'm almost finished. This is a bougie tumbler. And it comes with like a little handle strap. I'll show y'all when I'm finished. But, yeah, I'm going back to work. I just want to come and give y'all a little story time. My name is Eve the Weed. Please like, share, and subscribe. I got to go YouTube later.